Vanessa Zamora here, and sitting with me now is Ben Douglas, Marketing Manager for H&R Block. Thanks for joining me, Ben.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So how is the show going for you?
It's great. It's been great so far. Got a chance to really meet a lot of new people and just really hear a lot of new ideas. This
would be your first year speaking?
First year speaking, yeah. Okay, absolutely.
All right. So Ben spoke yesterday on in-house SEO training. I imagine for a company like H&R Block, you have a lot of branding, but it's a really competitive field. Can you give us some insight on how you strategically handle your marketing to stay ahead and up on the results?
Well, definitely got to admit that, yeah, it's a very competitive field. I guess more than anything, the biggest thing is to try to, from a competitive standpoint, gauge what our competitors are doing on a regular basis and ensure that our ability we're countering on a regular basis. It's the H&R Block business ends up being a lot different than a lot of businesses because it's so seasonal. Really, you've got a very short window that's called tax season, and in that time, pretty much everything that's going to be done is done. And if it isn't done, well, then you have basically another year before you get that opportunity again. So almost everything that you're doing needs to be either, if you're implementing a tactic in season, it needs to be very, very fast, and if not, you need to kind of very much do a lot of strategic planning outside of the season and see what your direction you're going to go.
Can you share with us some of those specific tactics that are actually working very well for you right now?
Well, unfortunately, because of our competitive nature, I can't go too far into specifics.
How about for our attendees, one?
Well, one thing that I think that's very significant, and I did touch on it in the National Company Local Focus, is that the use really kind of aggregators to get your local listings out into the IYP space. It's really it's an area that I see a lot of companies I think are just really kind of ignoring. They feel that basically a site search that allows them users to look for their business is enough, a local business. But it's really important to make sure that you've got your presence in not only the search engines, but then also in the IYP space, because that's where a lot of users are going, either through apps or through regular searches, to find a lot of their local information. So I would say that when I say an aggregator, something like a Localeze or an AXIOM, to bundle together all of your locations and put them in a place that all the IYP carriers or all the IYP providers can find easily and can then include you in their organic listings is very, very significant.
So there was a recent update. Google had a recent update. Have you seen your results affected at all by that?
Well, I can't really share much about that. I'm sorry. I would say that what we would do, and what we always do whenever there is any type updates, is we continue to evaluate what's happening to us and then also to our competitors, because the thing there is to see what, if anything, might we do. The thing that's generally true, though, I will say about most Google updates is that if you've got good quality content, you generally don't have to worry too terribly much about any one individual update. Now, the question then becomes, what's good quality content? And, of course, then there's also the consideration of what is the authority of your domain. There's obviously, a lot of different answers to that question, but content that the search engine finds relevant is typically not something that needs to worry about any one individual update. It's one of those things that in time, if there is any change whatsoever, typically it tends to work itself out.
And what is the best piece of advice that you've heard while you've been here attending this show this year?
The best piece of advice so far. There's just so much that comes to mind. I do.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No. I was in the getting the most out of your agency's session. And I think a lot of the things that were said about ensuring that your agencies have the ability to do the work that they are being employed to do, with clear guidelines of what it is that you're attempting to accomplish. Make sure that both sides are completely aware of what you're intending to accomplish, or probably some of the better advice that I saw.
Okay, well, we appreciate your time. I'm Vanessa Zamora. We're at Pubcon Las Vegas 2011. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks.
Thank you.